Good morning. Nice to see you. Welcome to Turbo Daily, second one of the day. You might have caught me in my England football shirt this morning talking about public speaking and your ability to communicate. Very quick one today because I want to eat my breakfast. I've got my coffee here, and I was at a karaoke last night, and to be honest with you, I still would like to go back to bed. On my own, obviously, so. 3-in-1 Nescafe. Shameless plug, but you know what? On a morning when you don't know what you're doing, it's so easy. So, how are you today? You okay? Everything working out fine? Are you generally happy? Are you going out doing something interesting today, like going to work? Are you skiving? Whatever you're up to. My alarm just went off there. Sorry about that. The beeping wasn't my fault. Well, technically it wasn't. So, whatever you're doing today, just a little thought for you. And I want to share with you a thing called the Power of 7. The Power of 7 is something that Anthony Robbins talks about. Andy Robbins, or Tony Robbins, is probably the world's foremost motivational speaker. Written some amazing books, and the guy is just the best at motivating and teaching people to be successful. But he talks about the Power of 7. And he says the 7 people closest to you, you'll be the average of them throughout your entire life. So let me explain exactly what that means. So, if you get the 7 people that are closest to you, family, friends, acquaintances, whatever it is, if most of them are unemployed or in and out of jobs, you'll be an average of unemployed and in and out of jobs for most of your life. If they're in and out of successful relationships or have terrible relationships, then you're getting advice from them, so it's most likely that you're going to be learning from them, like the people who go down the pub to find out how to do business. You'll be finding out from them all their tips and tricks on how they're successful. But if they're not successful, guess what? Neither are you going to be. So when you break that down to how that relationship works, if you want to spend more time with more successful people, then that will bring you more success in your life. So Dave, what does that mean? Are you saying to me I should get rid of all my waster friends, or my negative friends, or the people who, when they ring me up, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to talk to you, just go on and on and on. I'll pretend that I'm in a coma. Goodbye. You know those people, or you pass the phone to somebody and they pass it back and you go, oh yeah, I was just thinking about you. And you're waiting for the phone to go down, and then when they finish, you go, oh, I've got to block that number. I've got to pretend I'm on holiday forever. Not that I do that, but you know what I'm talking about. Oh yes, here's the simple truth. If you want to find more success on your daily happiness and your daily emotional range, then you need to surround yourself with people who are not only happier than you, but more successful than you. Let's put it in perspective then. If you're not a millionaire, and you spend all your time with the 7 people, 6 of them are millionaires, what do you think they're going to be talking about? How rich they are compared to you? No, they'll just talk about things in a different way. They'll talk about things in a way that rich people think. So they probably don't spend time wasting thinking about the things that you might think about, so you've got a scarcity mentality. They're thinking about abundance, and there's many opportunities left, right and centre, and don't waste time thinking about that. It's not so important in the bigger picture. You know those kind of things that unless you're taught by somebody, you're not really sure? I read a book about the millionaire mindset. It's really fascinating. There's quite a few books out there. This one in particular had about 8 things that were really important. I'll share a couple of things with you. One of the things to say is they surveyed about 1,000 millionaires in America, and being a millionaire is not as much of a big deal as it used to be 100 years ago. So millionaires end up staying with the same partner for 30 years, and the partner looks after them so they can look after the money building. So if the money maker is a guy, then the missus has made a decision to look after the family, look after the home, and so he can concentrate on the money. If it's the other way around and she's the money builder, then he looks after the kids and he looks after the home, and he's effectively the primary carer. So that is a balance that happens. They stay with the same person for 30 years, something like 95%. That means even if it's a gay couple, they still stay with the same partner for that period of time because they get it, they've worked it out. They know that even though the other person has some good bits and some bad bits about them, together they're building this wonderful future together. So as a result of that, they know each other very well. So instead of spending all their time like a new couple keeping an eye on each other, they know each other, so they keep an eye on how they move forward together. That's kind of interesting. They also say that the person doesn't necessarily have to have an education. In fact, many of them don't have proper educations. Doesn't mean that they didn't go to university, but what they decided was very quickly to do what they do very well. So spending time, for instance, if you sell used cars or used car parts, then you specialize in that. Might not be a business that you went to school to learn about, but you get stuck into and you dominate that and you learn how to dominate it. One thing that's very interesting about these guys is they very rarely buy new. They normally buy bargains, but they do have a big house, but they negotiate the house down to the very, very simple T. They get everything exactly as they should be when it comes to buying a house. Doesn't mean they buy rubbish, and it doesn't mean they buy rubbish cars or rubbish clothes, but they'll generally get stuff in the sales. They won't buy a brand new car for straight off the forecourt because they know that loses 30% within the minute you drive it. So they'll buy it maybe a month later or 6 months later. Same car, same quality, but the price is right down. So they're cleverer. Even though they've got the money, they don't allow themselves to get bogged up with credit card debt and all the things that middle class, which everyone's watching what everyone else is doing. They're very careful about how they do that. It's worth researching. It's fascinating when you get your head under the whole prospect of that. So to put that in more perspective, looking at the power of the 7 people that you should be working with or should have closer to you, does that mean you get rid of all the people that you have around you who are negative or not successful or just bring you down when you spend time with them? You've got to answer that yourself. If you've got family and friends that, every time you talk to them, it just make you feel terrible, answer that question yourself. I'm not ever going to tell you to do that, but if you find that you're just not feeling motivated and you've got no energy and the world really seems like a difficult place to be, then you're probably with the wrong people. Now, it doesn't mean that you should bin your family because you've still got responsibilities, but maybe you should have your counsel and your close people coming from the people who actually know what they're doing. If your family don't know what they're doing, there's always you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And so what do you do next with that? Well, very interesting. You can create mastermind groups. And a mastermind group is all the people who you'd like to aspire with. Generally, a good mastermind group is 6 to 8 people, so it still falls into that power of 7. And they would be different industries or people who would maybe be able to help you because you've got overlapping industries. And when you create a mastermind group, generally make them one step above you. Because if you end up having people that are below you on the same level, you're not going to learn from them. And if they're all below you, then they're all going to learn from you. You need new people that you can get advice from. So when you put these guys together, then that's how you would do it. Google it. Jack Canfield's got some fantastic ideas and templates on creating your mastermind group and how you would hold the meetings and how you aspire and how you break down that hour and how often you should meet and everything that you do. If you can't find yourself a mastermind group, there's just not enough people like-minded, interested in doing the stuff that you do, or even can help you, then put together a mastermind partnership. Get somebody who's got the same kind of enthusiasm and really wants more out of life, and hold each other accountable. Meet on a regular basis. Ask each other questions. That means you've got 2 brains instead of 1 thinking about particular problems, and get them to tap into their network to see if they can connect you with the right kind of people. And maybe you build that up until you got enough of them, and that's how you create your mastermind group. So there we are. That's me being serious for a change. I'll just pick my nose now to make me feel more comfortable with just being silly. I'm only joking. I'm going to drive safely. I hope you've had a wonderful experience this morning. I hope you have the most amazing day. I love your feedback on this. Share it with other people. And if you want to know more skills, tips, tricks, and techniques like this, then go to turbochargeyourbrand.tv, where I've actually interviewed some of the key people to mindset and motivation. Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Dr. John Gray, Alan Pease, Jerick Robbins, who's Tony Robbins' son, a ton of really smart thinkers, and you can get some really good insights from them. So I'll be coming back on with some cool stuff later on. Meanwhile, have an amazing day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There you go. Almost picked my nose.